Novak Djokovic, fresh off an Olympic gold medal. What are his chances here at this year's U.S. Open? What's going on, everybody? It's John Eric Poli, and again, with it being round one of this year's U.S. Open, going to continue coverage here of looking at some of the draws for the top tennis players in the world. In this video, we're looking at Novak Djokovic. And guys, before we actually get into the draw, I just want to say, going to be interesting for Novak Djokovic, right? A lot of parity this year. We know it hasn't been the prettiest at times, but he finally has the momentum on his side after winning Olympic gold, but we did not see him in any tune-up tournaments ahead of this year's U.S. Open. So that is kind of the big question mark here as far as Novak Djokovic goes. But guys, if he's going to play well like he did in the Olympic Games, I mean, this is a very good draw here for Novak Djokovic, in my personal opinion. Now, again, there might be some moments where it's not necessarily a layup, but I still would like Djokovic in all of these matchups. For example, guys, let's start getting into a few of the names here. We have Andrey Rublev in this corner of the bracket. Andrey Rublev, very inconsistent, and a guy that at moments has really struggled during 2024. So you take that what you will with Andrey Rublev. Another guy, guys, to talk about is Grigor Dimitrov. Had some pretty good moments in 2024. But again, if it's going to be Novak Djokovic that we just saw at the Olympic Games versus Grigor Dimitrov, I lean towards Novak Djokovic. No questions asked for that one. Now, here's two Americans now that I want to talk about that are in Djokovic's corner of the bracket. Let's talk about Ben Shelton first. Shelton, if these guys are going to meet, it's going to be... He would have won a few matches. Some momentum would be on his side. But guys, Shelton at times this year has struggled. We've been kind of waiting for him to step up here a little bit. Still hasn't done it. Last year's U.S. Open was his coming out party. Let's see if he can do it again at this year's U.S. Open. But again, let's see if Shelton even get that far for a possible matchup with Novak Djokovic. And now finally, guys, one last person here to talk about out of his corner of the bracket is Frances Tiafoe. Tiafoe has some momentum on his side. We just saw him make the finals of the Cincinnati Open. We know every year at the U.S. Open, it seems like he always comes alive and plays great. But still, again, a guy that's been very inconsistent at times. And while there is momentum on his side, it has been pretty a lot of the times here in 2024. So again, if you're looking at Novak Djokovic that we just saw at the Olympics playing at that high of a level, I'm going to take Novak Djokovic in that matchup. So as far as I'm concerned, guys, just kind of basing this off of the last time we saw Novak Djokovic, this is a good draw for Djokovic. But again, like I said, it kind of gives you your own interpretation because we haven't seen him in any tune-up tournaments since the Olympic Games. But again, if that Novak Djokovic from the Olympics is who shows up at this year's U.S. Open, good draw for Novak Djokovic in this year's 2024 U.S. Open.